Welcome back to the channel, guys. This week we are doing a video on Tcgplayer. I purchased a bunch of near mint cards from Tcgplayer. Let's look at the cards and the reviews of these places, and let's see if we can find some real gems, and let's see who on Tcgplayer is going to send us cards that are not anywhere near mint condition for mint condition prices. So, first up we have Meganium. Also, this video's lighting is pretty weird because I got all these packages on a bunch of different days and couldn't wait to open them. So, the lighting changes, the background changes, the setup changes constantly. So, just bear with me. This Meganium was actually really good quality. The only thing that I had wrong with this shipment, and you'll see it whenever I go to point it out, one of these totodials was sticking out of the card saver and got a little damaged. It's unfortunate, but yeah. I'm collecting, there's the light. I'm collecting all of these cards from the premium files, the Neo files. So we have Meganium. I needed Meganium, Bayleaf, Chikorita, Cyndaquil, Typhlosion, Totodile, and for Relegator, I had Croconaw and Quilava. So I had to purchase all these. And yeah, pretty much looking at this, great centering, nothing wrong with this hollow. It's in really good shape. I think the back of it has some scratches, some little tiny marks. Nowhere near anything less than near mint, so nowhere near LP or anything. But I spent $500 on random Tcgplayer cards that I've never seen just to see what kind of condition I could get. And a lot of these vary. Now, really quick, all these cards that we are looking at were purchased at near mint except for two. We got a Chikorita at MP and a Mega Charizard EX from Flash Fire in a lightly played. And so far with this Meganium, it definitely fits near mint. Of course, this card is, an eternity old, and there's literally nothing wrong with it. It's really good shape to be a 30-year-old card, and I would consider this pretty much near mint. There might be some tiny little problems, but again, the card is 30 years, so my definition of near mint on something 30 years old is a lot nicer than what I would consider a modern card in near mint. Right here, you can see that tiny white mark at the top and the bottom. These I would still probably consider close to near mint. Again, they're near mint. They're not mint. So with these cards, get a 6 or a 7 because that's near mint, or a 7 or an 8 rather. And yeah, it probably would. Card's in good shape. I did cut out me going over the back of that card. It was scratched a decent amount, but again, near mint for 30 years, pretty good. Would it be considered near mint by PSA? Probably not, because it was pretty heavily scratched. This one is in significantly better shape. The front is solid, no damage, very good. My biggest problem with this order is the Feraligatr that you saw first was sticking out of the package a little, so that's where that top damage mark came from, which definitely takes it down a good bit, but looks like whoever packaged it just didn't quite get the card in enough, so it's unfortunate. I won't really dock the store for that because it's just an employee, right? It's not the owner's fault for their employee, messing up. But yeah, so first batch, not too bad. And next up we have a brand new background. This will be our Mega Charizard EX in LP. We also purchased a near mint one, and then we have a couple other cards here that we're going to be checking out. So here we go. So I do have some keyword cuts in here, and that's just so we don't leak my address. Here we go. We have Croconaw and a couple other cards, and you're going to immediately see my biggest issue with this batch of cards that I got sent. Take it out. Neither of those cards are inside of that top loader. Top loader is just in there. Cards did not get placed in the top loader. The Bayleaf, the Cyndaquil, or the Crocodile. None of them were in the top loader. They were just loose inside of that pack to get damaged in the mail. I got lucky. They didn't. But that is incredibly bad. And again, it's not the shop owner's fault, but somebody at their shop fucked up really bad. And unfortunately, I can't give this a good rating because that's horrible shipping. That being said, the cards did come in the condition that I purchased them in. Now we're opening the next package. And the reason I didn't really showcase me looking at those cards is I forgot my camera wasn't on the above stand, and I pretty much showed the above stand every single card. Meanwhile, it was a level camera, not the top camera, because I messed up the thing that holds my top camera. It'll come back later. So here we have the Typhlosion card. I don't even know. Yeah, I get it a little bit closer to the camera. It's a little better. You can see they taped it closed. It's double sleeved, if I remember correctly, inside of a good lord, rigid sleeve, whatever they're called. I always forget what they're called. And yeah, like, this was pretty good. Considering how expensive this card was, a $30 card. Most expensive one out of the Neo Genesis or Neo Premium Files page 1. Most expensive card. And this card is near mint and a half. It is super minty. If I was to send any of these cards to PSA to get graded, this would be the one. This one is in really good shape. I think the only problem with this one is there was like some very light scratches on the back, but the front, super clean. The edges were all good. There was no whitening. Very solid card. I struggled to get it out of the penny sleeve because I was terrified of damaging it. You see me doing a couple tricks to try and get it out without damaging it. This was about the time that I noticed that I needed to use the other camera. There we go. Using the correct camera now. I moved the light so you guys can kind of see everything. And as you can tell on this, it's pretty good. I think my camera also might have been a little bit dirty. But yeah, I'm checking it out. No damage on it that I can see. Very, very solid. And if you're wondering why the camera angle changed, that is because I knocked the camera off the stand, which is exactly how the top one got messed up. So, rip to the bottom one as well, but didn't actually break it. So, here we go. Lots of bubble wrap. This is the Mega Charizard EX in LP, which is not a cheap card. In LP, near mint. And one of the biggest reasons I bought this for LP instead of near mint was because the price difference wasn't that crazy from LP to near mint, and at that point I should probably just get near mint, but I was kind of terrified with the last experience of getting shipped cards that were poorly packaged. Was terrified that I would get something that was poorly packaged or not exactly near mint. So I was worried about, getting something that was quote unquote near mint and then receiving something that was in pretty rough shape. Also, I think this sleeve actually says, yeah, it's packaged by Kevin. Kevin put this thing in there really good. There was no way this thing was getting damaged. Shout out to Kevin at whichever shop this was. I don't want to mention any shop names, especially not ones that, do bad. And I don't want to mention shops names that we got. Oh, it's actually on there, so I'm not going to blur that out. But, I was going to say that I don't really want to mention the name of shops, out loud, just in case, like, oh, someone says that that's not near mint, or that's not LP. So, everyone has different definitions of near mint, LP, stuff like that. And I'm not trying to get any hate towards any of these people, but Wasteland Gaming, I think, was a TCG direct shipper, so pretty much expected for this to be near mint or LP. I didn't expect to get anything less than what I paid for, is what I'm meaning to say. I'm gonna get the light here. There you go. Bring it down. I know it's really bright. This is such a good looking card. And if I remember correctly, even looking at this card now, like in hand, the front of this is perfectly fine. The LP comes from the back. It just has some scuffs on the back. It's really nothing crazy. It's pretty solid shape for a card that I expect to be handled more poorly because of just how we treated Pokemon cards back then. So, Wasteland Gaming did a really good job on the packaging and decently priced. Card is definitely LP. Within satisfied, 5 stars. So, we're 2 for 4. One bad packaging, and not near mint, if I remember correctly. And then we also have a pretty good Typhlosion, and then this being LP in my personal opinion. So, 2 for 4. Next up, we have the next Neophile page, which has Umbreon. Unfortunately, the sleeve got stuck in the top loader. Couldn't do anything about that. Trying to avoid scratching it. Really, honestly, couldn't avoid doing it. Which is why I like putting tape on the penny. My brain is dying. On the penny sleeve so you can pull it out easier. But yeah, this card was also in really mint shape. My biggest problem was literally all of the expensive cards that I got were sent with tracking. This one was not. I also didn't get an email that this one got shipped off. But it did come in back in good shape, or it did come to me in good shape, and was received within the window it was purchased, and arrived before the delivery date. So overall, good job to this. Next up is the Mega Charizard EX. This one, which we bought near mint, and this was also in really good shape. The reason that I opened this off camera was because I couldn't get the bubble mailer open, and I was, worried I was gonna cut the card, so I was being very careful, and it took way too long. And what I was just rubbing right there on the card is actually part of the card. I proceed to sit here and wipe it, and it turns out it's a part of the card. And yeah, so this card was in really good shape as well. And the reason I didn't open it is because I didn't want to damage it. And then it was also stuck in the top loader, so I was worried about damaging it. But yeah, overall, this card was also in really good shape. Not a card I think would 10, because you can see that left corner has like some whitening going on. So not a 10, but still happy with this card, because with Megas coming back, I expect these Mega cards to do a little more. Oh, and here I'm also comparing the back of the cards and the rest of the card to make sure that they aren't fake. Not that I expect anyone from Tcgplayer to do that, but I know some people are not experienced in checking fake cards, me being one of them, so I checked it out compared to each other, being 2 cards from the same XY generation, and then I also checked them against some older cards and a more modern card, just to make sure that there was no kind of funny business going on with the back of these cards, to make sure that they were all legit cards. And as far as I can tell, these are neither fake and very much real cards. Video too long. I did go over all of these amazing rare cards and my Mega Venusaur, and here I'm putting them all back in their sleeves and stuff. I did swap out one of their sleeves, and that was for the Umbreon and that's because the sleeve was stuck in the card saver top loader. And yeah, I am putting them all down so we can look at them. But yeah, LP card was LP, near mint megas were both near mint megas, and then all of the amazing rares that I'm about to lay down were all near mint, just like the ad said. Also, while we're here, can I just put a quick PSA that amazing rares are underrated. These are such pretty cards, and they unfortunately just don't get enough love because they weren't that rare. They were actually pretty common, which is why they sell for so cheap. But yeah, these are cards that I see a lot of for sale as damaged, and I think people are overlooking the potential value that something like this could have by just handing the bulk to children or just throwing them in bins and leaving them to get damaged. And right now you're about to witness my heart sink, and that is because I'm about to knock down the light right above all of these cards, causing damage to Raikou. And yeah, damaging pretty good. Crease right down the front. And if I had the live audio, I would literally have said a few moments before this that I think that would grade as a 10 because the centering, to me, looked pretty perfect. And now it's damaged. The crease didn't go all the way to the back, but yeah. And this is one step closer to completing this set. All we need is Chikorita and Feraligatr. Also, I should probably mention Totodile and Feraligatr, Crocodile. It's a giveaway. We just ran a giveaway for Destined Rivals. Now we're doing some old school Japanese cards from Gen 2, about from 1996, 97. Be giving away a Feraligatr, Crocodile, and Totodile. So be on the lookout for that. And by being on the lookout for that, I mean we're going to talk more about it in this video. And yeah, so if you care about that, there you go. And we're also going to be picking a winner at the very end for the last raffle, which will be announced live on Twitter, but for those on YouTube, it'll be at the end of this. This next package had 2 illustration contest packages from 2024. Basically, they ran a contest. Some people won. They got their cards made into real cards. And they're only available in this Japanese set. Actually, I was told that they're available in English now, but I have no idea from what set or where. But yeah, if you guys want to enter in a chance to win this, we'll be giving this away as well. And this also has a Feraligatr card. So let's go ahead and check out these 3 cards. First of all, this Feraligatr card is super pretty. Super pretty. The only way to get the Japanese set is to have a sealed box of Heatwave Arena. These came in there. Yawning Pikachu. That's instantly going to be a classic. And then a Toxtricity EX, which out of all these, that's the one that I'm least excited for. And I just feel like I like the card, but it would look so much cooler as a full art or illustration rare, not just an EX card. Now we have a Chikorita card. And again, this card is MP, so I expect it to be pretty beat up. And of course, it comes out of the top loader without its penny sleeve, which is exactly why I don't like using super tight top loaders. They're going to be tight enough to keep the card in there, but not tight enough to where it's going to fly out. Same thing with penny sleeves. I don't want my card in something that's super tight and going to damage it. So yeah, Chikorita. It is very much MP. There's a good bit of damage to it. There's a big crease right there, which I think is the biggest reason that it's MP. There's that crease and that crease up there. But as far as the rest of this card, it's just like some minor scratches on the back. I think they were minor. They could be heavy. I don't really remember. Overall, this being considered MP, I think it's pretty on brand, especially with those creases. So, no complaints. So far, we're doing pretty good. We've only had 2 bad encounters with bad shipping.
Next up, I have this Feraligatr card, and honestly, I really expected these big hits like Feraligatr and Typhlosion and Meganium to be pretty beat up, but surprisingly, you can't see it on camera, they're actually in really good shape. So I'm really happy with this. Also, that swirl, really nice, right behind Feraligatr, really nice. Love the swirls. And this is the one that we're actually going to be giving away for our Feraligatr giveaway, so stay tuned to the end of the video for that. We've also picked our winner for our Destined Rivals giveaway, so if you didn't enter that, make sure you follow on Twitter, make sure you comment on these videos, because on this video we're giving away these 3 Feraligatr cards, or the evolution line from Neophiles 1. It is a Totodile, a Crocodile, and a Feraligatr from Neophiles 1. And I just love this set, and hopefully you guys also love this set. And these cards are, really expensive in English, but they're reasonably priced in Japanese. So that's why I'm giving away the Japanese ones, because, your boy's not made out of money, but they're really pretty cards. They're really nice cards. And at the end of the day, like, who cares about reading the card? It's not like you're playing TCG. I'm here to collect pretty cards, whether it's in Japanese or English. I'm just here to collect, not protect, collect, and honestly protect. Yeah, because you put them in sleeves. I'm here to collect and protect these nice vintage Japanese cards. They're so good looking. All right, and these were 2 more cards that I ended up purchasing, waiting for the final Feraligatr card to arrive. It is a Dunsparce and a Kingdra, I believe. Both trainer galleries or Galarian galleries, one of the two. Very nice cards. These were in pretty good shape overall, and very happy about that, because I really think people are not valuing these cards well enough. I know that they are fairly common, but at the end of the day, these are some really pretty cards. And again, that's what I'm here for. I don't care if the card's $5. I have a Ledian card. Very pretty. It's worth like $5 raw. I give 0 shits about its value. It's a pretty card. I'm going to keep collecting pretty cards. Also, it was really hard to get out of these sleeves. That was my biggest gripe with this person, or this whoever I ordered these from. They were just really hard to get out of the packaging. But I know some people prefer like tight fit sleeves. Me personally, I like them loose because I don't want to damage the card. But yeah, these are both in really good shape. I was worried that this was scratched, but it was just part of the art. And they're both in really good shape. No problem. So again, we're doing pretty good. And now we have this Dunsparce card, which I know I said looked pretty good, but I did want to get some footage on camera, and I didn't want the audio to be blank. So here I am just mumbling about things. Yeah, card's pretty good, and some of you guys know I collect Dunsparce cards. This one, probably my favorite right now. Next up, we are looking at the final Feraligatr card. Now, this person was supposed to send this out with my first batch, which I ordered back in April. The package was not very well packaged. It is a $15 card, which it's above $10, so I think it should be packaged a little bit better. But it was stuck in the tape at the top. The card, as you will see in this footage, is not near mint. This card is LP at best. Some people would call this MP. I'll let it pass as MP LP. Somewhere in the middle there. MP plus, LP minus, however you determine cards grades. This is not near mint. I contacted the shipper or the card shop and was like, hey, I was supposed to get my card on the 2nd. I haven't gotten it yet. It's like the 10th because I've come back from my vacation. Still don't have the card. They messaged me 3 days later and were like, hey, have you checked your mailbox? Which, like, what a great response. And ironically, it happened to be in my mailbox the day that they sent me that. And this is the day that I filmed it. And I'm going to let most of this footage honestly play as I talk over it, because this card was in bad shape. And I think the part that makes me the most upset is not that this card was this damaged. Like, I could give this card away, but I want to give you guys good cards. I don't want to give you guys damaged cards. And I'm fine with damaged cards because I'm collecting these just as a set. I will eventually upgrade this, just like I will upgrade my Chikorita at some point when there's more near mints from reputable sources for sale. And so I will be getting another one of these cards at some point. The part that upsets me is I like that first Feraligatr that we pulled because of the swirl. It had the swirl. I really wanted to keep that one in my collection, possibly grade it to have that swirl just graded, even if it doesn't 10. I'm not grading this. I know it's not going to be good. Has no swirl. I like swirls in my graded cards if I can get it. So, that being said, this shop is going to get a bad review from me. I'm not going to throw their name out there, but they sent me a card, not very well protected. It got stuck in the tape. It was not near mint. It took a week longer than its initial date that I was supposed to receive the card. And not only that, but all the other cards that I ordered were received within 5 days of me purchasing them. And it was in fact so bad that I purchased another Raikou card, which I'm not going to be able to put on screen, or well, I could put it on screen, but I'm just not taking the time to do it. I purchased another Raikou card and received that before I received this card. I also purchased every single Radiant card available, except for Greninja and Gardevoir, because I own those two already, and then the Pokemon Go ones, which I'm planning on purchasing. They're just a little pricey for no reason. Like, they're above market value, at least whenever I was looking. But I got Radiant Halucha, Heatran, Chargebug, Serena, I don't know how to pronounce the name, Hisuian Sneasler, Jirachi, which I love that card, Alakazam, love that card, Charizard, love that card, and Steelix, love that card. Not to say I don't love the other ones, but Heatran is kind of lame. Greninja and Gardevoir are also amazing. And I really like the Blastoise and Venusaur. I really love the Venusaur one. Venusaur is my boy. But I got all of these cards, which I purchased before I left on vacation, and got them all before I went on vacation, even though their due date wasn't until the 10th. And then I received my Feraligatr, this card that you're looking at, by the 5th, or by the 10th, when these cards were supposed to get here. So I got it with my last shipment of cards. Should have been way sooner. And I don't know. It was just a horrible experience for this card. So, spending this much money on Tcgplayer, is it safe? If your person has a good reputation, because this shop that I got this one card from had the worst reputation. They had nothing wrong in their last 30 days, but in their last 90 days, they had problems with people saying that their cards were poorly packaged, or that their cards were not the condition that they purchased, and they gave them 1 stars. So, with that being said, check the 90-day reviews. Don't just check the 30 days like I did. 90-day reviews go a long way, because anything that I had a problem with, if I checked the 90 days, I would have seen it before I purchased the card. So, just make sure you check your 90-day reviews on the Tcgplayer stores before you check out with that store. With that being said, this has been my video. I'm giving away these cards in a different video, by the way. That's why they're on screen. I haven't been looking at the footage to see what I'm talking about. This pack right here will be given away at a different time. But the Feraligatr, the Crocodile, and Totodile will all be given away from a comment in this video. So if you want those 3 cards, be sure to comment. You can also enter the giveaway a second time if you check out my tweet. Link in the description. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.